Hey friends, so welcome to DBC Inc. Thursday Night Live. I know we were off last week, so you might be like, whoa, are they coming again? Yes, we're here. We're here this year. Just took a day off. Dave and I were both traveling on the same day, so we don't have anybody to host. And yeah, but we are here and we have Dan Tricarico on the show with us today. Welcome, Dan.
Welcome to you. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, we are so grateful to have you. And also, if you're joining in, you know the routine. You drop your name over in the comments. I see Tisha. I see Dave.
Tisha's
We
here.
are
Dave's
so
here.
excited to
Hey,
have
Tisha.
you guys here. Yes. Remember, every comment in the comment section, it's the same as last year, will enter you to win a free book. And you have a choice of one of Dan's books tonight. So you definitely don't want to miss out on this. This is a book that I think every educator needs anyway, but definitely in the time of crisis that I think a lot of us are dealing with right now.
Yeah.
Both of his books are very comforting, very helpful with strategies that you'll learn a little bit about tonight that can help you and to revive you and to just give you that energy and that peace, inner peace that you need to continue on and do this work that we love so dearly, but also drains the mess out of us. So, Nick, welcome. So excited to
Hey, Nick.
have all of you in the
Fun.
house. We are seeing so many great friends here.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Couple of things, couple of housekeeping before we get started, and then we'll let Dan just tell us all the things.
I have to do all the
All the
things?
things,
Oh my gosh.
everything.
I
We
only
have all
prepared
night.
some of the things.
We have 20 minutes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
No, before Karen in the house. I got to do a podcast
Karen.
with Karen today. So exciting.
These are like all my friends. That's so
I
fun.
know. All your friends are showing up.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love hanging out with my friends on Thursday nights.
Oh yeah.
Well, the winners, of course, will get a book. We will be choosing those tomorrow morning. So if you're watching this on the playback Friday morning, it's still game to put your name over there. So do that in case you're putting babies to bed or whatever it is tonight. Sometimes we have to watch things on the playback. We totally understand that here at DBC. And another thing at the very end, hi Adam,
Hey,
at the
Adam.
very end of this show, I will be sharing something that we're trying new called the Hook of the Week. The Hook of the Week comes out every Wednesday. It's just started this year in 2022. And it's so fun. It's another way to potentially win a free book. And so you do want to stick around for that. You have a whole week from Wednesday to Wednesday to try the Hook of the Week and share some image of you doing it or telling us about it, a tweet about it, and super easy way to win free books. So we're all about trying to get free PD in the hands of the people that we love so much. And for us, that's one way we can do it is by sharing our amazing books by over 170 authors that you get to choose from. So tonight you have a chance to win either the Zen Teacher or Sanctuaries. And Dan is the amazing author of both of those books. And I'm going to let Dan do a more formal introduction of what he does, who he is, and maybe Dan just briefly share why you decided to write these two books.
Oh, sure, Tara. Thank you. And you made the book sound so great. I was going to put a comment in there, and then I thought, well, I already have these books, so if I won them, it wouldn't make any difference. So yeah, my name's Dan Tricarico, and I've been teaching for over 30 years. And right around 2016, I just was really heading toward burnout, and I thought, oh my gosh, I have 10 years. How am I going to make it through, right? And I just wasn't sure. And then I kind of was always interested in Eastern philosophy, and I was a drama major and an actor. And the acting teachers always talked about being relaxed on stage, being in the moment with your scene partner, being focused and kind of winnowing things down to their essence. And I thought, well, that's what teachers need. And so I started the blog called The Zen Teacher, and really just as reminders for me. And then one of the guys that's here tonight said, "Hey, let's make this a book," and it changed my life. And Dave changed my life a couple times. And what's great about this path that I'm on now is just what we're seeing here is just thank you, Anik. Gosh, I appreciate you so much. It's just that I get to help teachers, and I mean, what's better than that? And I love teachers. Teachers are in my heart, and they just are amazing. And it's such a cliche, not only is it a cliche to say that they're heroes, but it's almost like now, we go from heroes to, from positive to negative in the references to teachers. So often I get whiplash. It's ridiculous. And I know that most of the teachers I know not to listen to the good press or the bad press and just do their thing. Just do what they're good at. But I really mean it sincerely when I say teachers are my heroes, because I wouldn't have spent 30 years doing this if I didn't think it wasn't the most important job on the face of the planet, because you're just making the future better. And I always say teaching is the ultimate expression of hope, because you wouldn't spend the energy and the blood, sweat, and tears, and like you said, it's just exhausting, if you didn't think that what you were doing was going to make things better. And that's hope. And we know we all need more hope, especially right now. So, but unfortunately, the system sometimes works against that, and we get up against resistance. We feel burnout. We feel stressed out, and that's, I think, where the books come in, and they give you practical strategies to kind of deal with that stress that I was experiencing, but also that that other people. I thought it was just me. And that's the other thing. That's why I love coming on shows like this, is because like I thought it was just me. And when I went to the first conference and did the first Zen teacher workshop, there were about 25 teachers there. It was in New Jersey, of all places. I mean, I'm not a traveler, and I live in San Diego. I flew across the country to do this. And they were looking at me like, I can't believe he's talking about this. Nobody is talking about this. And that was in 2015. So when the pandemic hit and everything shut down, I thought, I have kind of a responsibility here to step up and to help these teachers out, because I intuitively, I knew, I said, it's going to get crazy. And it did. And the joke I say is that, when the Zen teacher is stressed out, it's bad. Right. And so, yeah, we've all been through it. We've been through the ringer. And I opened up. Hey, Dawn is here. I love Dawn. I'm trying to stay focused, and all these amazing people keep distracting me.
Shout out, friends.
Yeah, I got to shout them out. But I on March 13th, 2020, when everything shut down, and I realized, okay, let's do this. I opened up a what I called a pop-up Facebook group, and on a Friday, and by the next Wednesday, over 500 teachers were in it. And they tease me now, because I was like, oh, well, it's a pop-up group because we're going to be done with this in a couple months, right?
Yeah. Still here. 2 years later.
Still here. We're still here. And you know what? We're all exhausted. We've all been through the ringer. We all are wondering, how am I going to do this? But I want to be inspirational to everybody and say, you've got this. You can do this. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Nothing. One of the Zen concepts is, everything's temporary, the good stuff and the bad stuff. Right. So, nothing lasts forever. And so it's really important to keep that in mind when you're in it and it's lasting 2 years. It feels like it's never going to end. And Ryan, thank you so much for saying that. That means a lot to me. Gosh, I'm getting choked up here. When you get messages like that from teachers, it's exactly, Sean, this too shall pass. I love hearing from the teachers that something I wrote or something I said helped them, because there's nothing better. There's nothing better. So that's kind of how it started, and that's luckily what's nice is, for me, I was super happy that I had been doing this for a couple of years before the pandemic hit, because I was miraculously, I had a self-care system in place. I had a plan now, and I know now, I had 10 years to get to retirement. Now I only have 3 or 4, and I know I'm going to make it. So that's the awesome thing.
I think what's so cool too, Dan, and you've basically explained this, so I guess I'm kind of reiterating it, but you wrote the book that you needed.
Oh, absolutely.
And I love that, because I feel like when we write the book that we need, it just comes from such a deep place that when people that read it also need it, which maybe before pandemic, they didn't realize as much as they needed this self-care as much, but now people really recognize it, then they can relate, because you are speaking from such a true, honest, real place. It's not like I did all this study and I found out this will work. I lived this and this works.
100%.
And I love that. And I love that about your books. I feel like I'm chatting with a friend,
Mhm.
but at the same time, I'm grabbing a hold of these strategies. I think it was Lisa LaChance Smith that mentioned they were doing some things where they're having weekly, maybe, or monthly. As a group, they've started to provide health and wellness tips for their staff. They think this book will be
Fantastic.
helpful with ideas. Yes, Lisa, this is your book. Either of these books, but they're practical strategies, things that you can do. You can put out in a newsletter. You can challenge your staff to try one of these. We're going to learn a little bit from Dan in just a moment. So hopefully, there's one that you will be able to take tonight and try tomorrow. Or tonight even. And that's what I love so much about your work, Dan. And I think your blogs, all the work, your podcast, it's just so relatable.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And that's the thing is when there are certain things that you realize just are universal. And I didn't realize it when I was writing it. But then, everybody needs and deserves to take care of themselves. And, and that's kind of what, I don't know if it's time to transition into the strategy.
Totally.
But,
You just
oh,
take
okay.
the lead. We can go wherever we need to
Oh,
go.
okay. Well, in sanctuaries, I do talk about the fact that I think it starts with permission. We need to give ourselves permission to take care of ourselves. And what I realized is, having been a teacher for 30 years, that there is this, and I know everybody listening is going to know exactly what I'm talking about. There is this narrative of teacher as martyr, as where you sacrifice everything, you go to the last, fume that you have in the tank. And I've been saying that narrative needs to stop yesterday, because that's not sustainable. And that's what I was up against. And they keep putting things on the plate and putting things on the plate, and more now than ever, probably. And we need to give ourselves permission to say, I don't have to do it all. I can take care of myself. I'm not a bad teacher if I'm taking care of me, or if I'm prioritizing my physical health, mental health, emotional health over doing yet another thing for my students, for my school, for whatever. Of course, those things are important. You wouldn't be in teaching if you didn't think your students were important. Nobody's questioning that. We know that that's true, right? But you need to give yourself permission to take care of yourself. And here's a quick strategy that I was talking to Tara before we went on air, that I think is a really quick thing I can share, that I think is really, really transformational and helpful, which is the idea of a permission slip. And I always tell my students, cite your source. And I got this idea from Brene Brown in her book, Rising Strong. I always say I might have just a teeny tiny crush on Brene Brown, because I think she's amazing. And I love her work. And what it is, we kind of intellectually know, yeah, I probably should take care of myself. And yeah, it's probably a good idea, but I've got all these things to do or whatever. But she talks about the idea of a physical permission slip. Now, all of you are teachers, educators, the importance of a permission slip, right? You want to go on a field trip, you need a permission slip. Parents need to sign off. Why? Because it gives it gravity and weight. It makes it real. It's binding. It's a contract, right? And so instead of it just all that stuff kind of, bouncing around in your head, if you take something and you write out a physical permission slip for yourself about something you've been wanting to get to, or a way that you're going to take care of yourself, it makes it real, and it gives it weight and gravity, and it gets it out of your head. So I'm going to challenge you tonight, or tonight I'm going to challenge you, do it whenever you want, but to write a physical permission slip for that thing you've been wanting to get to, that you just haven't taken the time because of the pandemic, because of the school schedule, because of your kids, because of whatever, and make it happen. And the key is to be as specific as possible. Not, I promise to take better care of myself. That's too general, right? But something like, I, Dan Tricarico, promise to read for pleasure Friday night from 8 to 8:30 p.m. I mean, that's pretty specific. But then there's more of a chance that it's going to happen. And then, of course, it always helps, maybe have an accountability buddy, show the permission slip to somebody, because you're making it real. So I think everybody can do that. I think it's something that you can always do. I return to that a lot of times when I'm feeling that anxiety and stress and tension, all of that stuff building up. I will just jot out a quick permission slip, and then I will Oh, yes, Dave. That works for
Totally
ice
works
cream.
for me.
Absolutely.
Dave Burgess, will eat
Yeah.
ice cream
You have to be specific. You
every
have to say
night
how much and when. Yes.
every night this week because I deserve it.
And remember, one of the Zen concepts is non-judgment. So however much, I don't judge. However much you want.
Just do it.
Just do it.
You
Just
don't
do
have
it.
to be specific about that amount.
Nope. Nope.
I love this idea. And what I love so much about it, besides that it gives us permission to do something specific for us, is to model that for our students. Because
Yes.
if we say, you know what, together, we are going to make a permission slip for ourselves
Mhm.
and we're going to hold each other accountable. So I'm going to write mine right in front of you and just tell them, like, I'm writing myself a permission slip that I'm going to read for fun Friday night from 8 to 8:30. And each of you, I want you to write a permission slip. And then I want you to share it with a partner.
Right.
And then Monday, when we come in, let's see who all has completed their permission slip.
Yeah.
You know, like something like that, reminding kids that, you know what, we have to do this for ourselves because we don't make time for ourselves. And just like you, some like kids get so caught up on their phone doing mindless scrolling. I do it myself. And then
I
they
never do that. No.
do the things that they really wanted to do because they've wasted so much time. So giving yourself permission and reminding them that this is a good habit to have, it's just perfect. I love it because it's so easy.
Oh,
But
totally
because
easy.
it's so easy, I think
Yeah.
sometimes we won't do it. But
Right.
also putting that somewhere, like for me, if I made one, I'd probably shout it out to my husband or put it on my story. I want somebody to say, hey, did you do that thing you gave yourself permission for? You know, just to remind us to do that thing.
Absolutely. And Tara, I think I'd never heard that before. I never thought of that before. And of course, why not post it on your social media? That's a genius idea.
Yeah,
Because
right.
then people will go, did you do that thing? And then the other thing you mentioned, which I thought was so true, is if you don't make it intentional by making it concrete, it's not going to happen. Because time will go by, you'll do the scrolling, you become, everybody else's agenda becomes more important than yours. You're checking email in the morning as soon as you get up, and I'm guilty of that too. But well, Melissa, you need to make a permission slip, right?
Totally.
To read for fun, or it will not happen, because I think intentionality is the name of the game here, and I think the permission slip really helps with that.
It's so true. And Dave and I were on a chat a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about calendars, you know, just putting stuff on our calendar. But I think even then, it gets to be pretty, like, it's just something that you see. And a lot of times people overlook like what's on there. Oh, if this is for me, it's my nail appointment, whatever, it can just get moved or taken off. It's fine
Right.
if stuff comes up. But giving yourself a permission slip, I just love that idea. And I also I think I would probably post it on my story. Hey guys,
Yeah.
I challenge you to give yourself a permission slip, and here's mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm
That's
gonna check
awesome.
in on you. You check on me. Check in on me. Let's take some time for ourselves. Let's do some things that we love. Let's read for fun. Melissa, one of the ways I've got a chance to read more is I've been subscribed to Audible for a long time. And I rarely ever do it because I love reading books. I just like to be able to thumb through them and highlight. But I honestly haven't had a lot of time. And 2021 really showed my butt with, I tallied up the books I read. They were like all DBC books. Not that that's any problem. I love DBC books and I read a lot of them for work. But I really wanted to read like outside of work a little bit too. And I never really got around to it. So this year already, by the end of January, I will have read 2 books and 2 other books and 2 DBC books. So I'm pretty proud. I started the DBC books earlier, so they kind of went November, December, but they're about to release. So you guys are about to first get to read them. And then I read a John Grisham book, and I also with Audible.
And they're long.
I also read The Shoe Dog. I finished it up. I'm finishing it up in Audible because I couldn't finish it up reading it. So maybe if you don't have time necessarily to sit and read, that might be an option on the commute. I've been doing it when I'm getting ready in the morning, when I'm stretching, I read. And then at night, Daryl and I have been finishing the fiction book, just sitting on the couch. And instead of watching a movie, we've just put on Audible and been listening to our book. And it's just been so fun to change things up a little bit.
Absolutely. And I have to tell you too, it's somewhat related. is when I saw that you were reading Shoe Dog. Is that the Nike book? Is that what
Yes,
it's called?
still
I was
nice.
like, I got to
Well,
read that book. Yeah. And
you will
you
love
inspired me to read that book.
You should check it out. Yes, the DBC collection is amazing. Everybody
Mhm.
should read all the books. They're
Mhm.
so great. There's so many of them.
I,
So good
I am
luck.
stunned. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I was just so excited. I'm stunned at the quality of the authors in the DBC stable, and just, always so grateful and humbled to be among them. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Yes.
Yes. But if you can't get in the other books with real paper, like DBC books, most of us read the real paper books, but you need to get in some other books for reading wide, living wide that Dave is
Yeah.
always talking to us about, then try Audible. It's been helpful for me. Dave says he's paper book and ebook.
Yep.
I'm working on getting a night. Well, whatever you guys choose to do. Oh, Greenlight is on my Audible list. I am excited to listen to that. I'm excited to listen to that. I have that one on my Audible list too. Do y'all have any?
I would listen to Matthew McConaughey read anything. So,
Yeah,
yeah, his
exactly.
voice is amazing.
He is so fun. So, if you have any suggestions for books that people can read on Audible, drop them over there. Maybe we can get some permission slips, and we also can get some suggestions. We have a ton of Dave Burgess books. So up above, you will find our link to our bookstore. You definitely want to go check that out. And somebody here tonight is going to win one of Dave's. I mean, Dave's. One of
Well, they're Dave's books too.
They're Dave's books too. He owns all of them.
Yeah.
I can't wait to laugh out loud. I'm excited. I love that. But now we will have Dave. Dave. How many times am I going to call you Dave, Dan? We will have Dan share his contact information in just a moment. And then we'll dive into the hook of the week. So, Dan, I know people are probably wanting to find you. They want to locate you. They want to share when they get your book or some of the Zen ideas.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to share your permission slip with Dan. He can help hold you accountable. How can they find you on social media?
Yeah, I was going to say, one thing I always say is, please feel free to let me know what your permission slips were, if you did them, if you didn't do them. Again, no judgment. We just try again, But there's lots of places that I can be found. My website is thezenteacher.com. I'm on Twitter at thezenteacher, and I goof around on Instagram at Zen Teacher. I guess the was taken by the time I got over to Instagram, so it's just at Zen Teacher. So that's fun, and I think that's all the big places. So yeah. Oh, and then, well, I'm going to put a little plug in. Everybody's got a book. Everybody's got a podcast. I have a podcast. It's called The Zen Professional Moment. And you can check that out. And it always has, it's like this. It has, good strategies for taking care of yourself.
Yeah, we'll take anything you want to share, actually. For sure.
Well, those are all good places to hear the message and get in touch with me. So, and I hope to hear from people.
Yeah, for sure. Do tag. I think I'm going to build my permission slip tonight. I already know what I want to build. And so I'm going to build that tonight, and I will post it on my story. I'll tag you, Dan. And then you're going to build one, right?
Me? Oh, sure.
Yeah. You got
now I'm accountable. Fine. Okay.
You got a model for us.
Yes.
And then anybody else who thinks they're going to build a permission slip, go ahead and tell us in the comment. You're going to make a permission slip. Put it on your story on Instagram. Yep. Tag Dan at Zen Teacher. Put it on Twitter. Tag him at the Zen Teacher. Definitely looking at all those permission slips. Dave, we're looking for yours. I'm expecting it to involve ice cream. And then I do want to share our hook of the week. So we have a hook of the week. It comes out. Oh, you're going to build yours tomorrow. Good, Melissa. I'm glad for you. Everybody. Yes. Thanks, Don, for joining us. You, so fun. We do have a hook of the week. So before you leave, don't leave us just yet. Yes, there's a challenge. I'm looking for them. Maybe we'll give out an extra book if we see some of those permission slips fulfilled. The hook of the week is the Picasso hook. So the Picasso hook is a great hook. It's all about how can you incorporate art into a lesson. I know Amy was over here in the comments earlier, not sure if she's still in the house, but she had a great idea of how she was planning to use it. I'm not sure if she got around to that today with her students, but I'm super excited Oh, we already have some. Perfect. If you're using some art in any way, designing an image, yes, perfect. These are all great ideas. Be sure and use the hashtag hook of the week. Tag Dave at Burgess Dave on Twitter. We are looking at all the hooks of the week this week, and you have from yesterday to next Tuesday to get them in. And we are looking at all of them and choosing someone to win a free book of choice. So they get to go to our bookstore. You get to choose from any of those 170 authors, and you get to choose any book you want. If we have it in stock. So you get your top 3 choices, you're going to get one of those. So it's a really great deal. It's fun to see these things that can be added. These hooks are simply explained. We have a blog that will explain them. Dave, if you don't mind, if you'll drop that blog over in the comment section, I'll get him to drop that over there, but it explains like how you might incorporate art in your lesson. But it could be the lesson you're already doing. Maybe just put an image up on the board. Maybe you have them design something. Maybe you have them look at a piece of art and tell you how that relates to their life today, how they're feeling about coming back from break based off of that image. Like there's just so many ways we can use art in what we're already doing, the content that we're already teaching. And so we would love to see how you incorporate the Picasso hook into your classroom, into what you're already doing, and use the hashtag hook of the week and then tag Dave at Burgess Dave. So he dropped the blog over there in the comment section. You can check it out from the screen here and it'll give you some more ideas. Also, please do reach out to us if you have any questions. You're like, oh, I kind of want to add this. What do you think about this? Dave is the master of all these hooks. So you definitely want to share them out with him. And we'll be doing these every week for the year of 2022. So you'll have lots of ideas each week of just a little tiny thing you can add to your lesson just to spice it up a little bit, pirate it up, and have a little fun with it. That kind of keeps us from burning out. It keeps kids engaged and interested. And it's something that you don't have to think about. It's going to come in your email every Wednesday, and you get an opportunity to not only hear about it, but use it in your classroom and potentially win a free book. So it's a win-win for everyone, I think. But thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Dan, it's just been so fun to hear about the permission slip and ways to do this. I do challenge you all to make a permission slip. I'm going to make mine tonight. I will go ahead and write it up on my little notepad and put it out on my story. I know exactly what I'm going to write. And then I'm hoping all of you will also do it and tag Dan, tag at DBC Inc. We'll be sure and share them out. But
and I'll put mine on Instagram.
Yes. Take care of yourselves. It's very important. Yes, do check out these books. Dave is tagging them over here. And Nick, we love you too. And we love all of our crew for joining us tonight. We'll be back here next Thursday night with a new guest. And yeah, Dan, anything else you want to share before we leave tonight?
Well, I was just thinking of one thought, which is how I end my podcast, which is you are okay exactly the way you are, and you have more power than you think.
That's all you need to know. That's a perfect way to end this thing. Well, bye, everyone.
Thank you,
have
Tara.
a wonderful night. Thank you, Dan, again for joining us.
It was my pleasure.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.